My little feisty energy, we are going to be leaning into August 2024 readings, and I'm super excited to see what is coming to the surface for you. Now, as I'm connecting, one of the biggest things coming through right now is this fear of being left behind. It's almost as if your abandonment wound is very much triggered right now. And when I look at the abandonment wound being triggered, there's this fear of being left behind and almost feeling like certain people, individuals don't have the time for you, feeling as though you've missed the boat on certain opportunities. Now, what is coming to the surface right now is a reminder of where your abandonment wound is keeping you in a cycle and keeping you held hostage rather than going after what it is that you want. Now, the energy of codependency comes to the surface, almost as if you need to remember that you're the only one that can create what it is that you desire. And if you're the only one that can create what it is that you desire, then you need to get out of your own head, get out of your own discomfort, and be willing to find a way to make it happen. Holding codependency with anybody, whether that be a relative, a family member, a partner, is only going to hold you back. And right now you need to see your own power and your own responsibility. I feel like there's been a struggle of responsibility on your journey and a little bit of defensiveness that is probably even coming to the surface listening to me, because the defensiveness is showing where you haven't wanted to make changes and you haven't wanted to make shifts. And I feel like there's a blame that comes to the surface of wanting to blame other people. And that is the way that we avoid certain areas of our life, right? We want to throw it out at other people. However, this is a great time to self-reflect and be willing to see what you do not want to see. Message come to the surface, it feels as though you need to be willing to see what's right for you. And this is a time where you can't take on board any advice from surrounding energies. You can't listen to anybody else sway in your career pathway. You have to really, really think about what's right for you, because in the past you've made decisions based on advice from other people and it hasn't worked out. And so stepping into that energy of what do I feel for myself and for my life is going to massively serve you. Now with that, the energy of creativity is coming to the surface, almost as if you don't know yourself as deeply as you desire. And I feel like there's been an avoidance of knowing yourself as deeply as you desire because it's been so easy to sit in the background. However, right now is not your background season. This is your time to get into the vision, to get into the I'm center stage energy. I'm the main attraction energy. And so you can't just blend into the background and let time tick you by. You need to be taking that responsibility. And just leaning into the time ticking you by, it does feel like you've almost just been sitting and waiting for things to come to the surface rather than taking responsibility. Now, the things that you want for your life, they're not just going to be granted. They're not just going to come into play. You're going to have to actively look for them. And in looking for them, it feels like you need that confidence leap to step into what it is that you want. And so if you're a business, that might look like inviting yourself into the sale. If you're not a business, it might look like actively looking for dating potential. Or it might look like, applying for jobs. And the more you put yourself out there, the bigger the reward is going to come inside of your space. Now, when we go into this a little bit deeper, I do feel like there's a clashing of heads that comes to the surface this month, almost as if everything just feels like it's pointing inwards. And so as people are saying things or as people are bringing things to the surface, you're going to feel very defensive, very heavy. And it's okay, right? It's okay sometimes to just need some time to digest things. And this is definitely a time where you need some alone time to digest the energy that's going on around you. Do not rush into any decisions. This has been one of your biggest bad habits of rushing things, being too I'm going into it, this is what I'm doing, and then backtracking. And right now, the decisions in your life need slow energy. And so when you're taking responsibility, you have to really think about what you want. I feel like there's a disheartening that comes to the surface as though, what you want feels off guard or out of limits, so to speak. And as I lean into that, Spirit is just reminding you that you can have whatever you want, but it has to be right for you. You can't take somebody else's idea of life and somebody else's idea of what works for them and just expect it to work for you. And it's like the comparison needs to stop here. You have to stop comparing yourself to everybody else, and you have to stop thinking about how easy it is for everybody else and start looking at you and your life, because other people are in different chapters in different parts of their life, and you're only going to create more frustration. Cold feet energy that comes to the surface, as though you're holding yourself back, right? And as I get the cold feet energy is coming through around the work front, and it feels as though there's certain things that you're just not sure of. And so your instant thing is to self-protect. And when I look at self-protection, it's like backing away from things, going inward, not like taking part in activities, not socializing with colleagues, not getting yourself out there, keeping yourself to yourself. And this is actually affecting you because you need to be around people. You can't just be yourself to yourself. The more you're around people, the bigger the energy is going to build for you. And so this is a strong time to get sociable and to be around the other people. However, the cold feet energy is you not allowing yourself to plunge deeply. This isn't a time to just dip your toe in. It's like, I'm just going to plunge. I'm just going to fully plunge and I'm just going to fully go for it. However, thinking that through, making sure that you're fully accustomed in that, okay, I know exactly what I need to be doing right now, exactly what I want. And that's going to take a little bit of playing around. The beginning of the year for you is about playing around, getting intentional, figuring out who you are in this season. You've changed a lot. And in changing a lot, you're realizing where comparison actually kept you in pathways that were not right for you. Of like rude behavior and just feeling like the world is out to get you and just feeling like everybody is so insensitive right now. And that's the way that it's going to feel, but it's not the way that it is. It's as though Spirit is saying people are reflecting to you the changes that you need to make internally. And that's going to feel heavy and that's going to feel intense and that's going to feel like people are pinning certain things on you. However, be open to see that that's not the way that it really is. You just need to get out of your head and understand what's being reflected from the universe right now. So if you've enjoyed this reading, please do drop a comment down below and I will be doing deeper readings inside of the Hello Misfit Business Lounge email address. So I'll drop the email down below. You can reach out and you can schedule your reading.